This conference will now be recorded.
Hi, good evening all. So this is a new video session on web technologies. So this is a new video session on web technologies. So here the web technologies we have HTML, JavaScript, CSS. So in the web, so the web is a word. So the web we can hear everywhere and it is a evergreen. So the World Wide Web you are everyday calling. So almost all without using this web, the day is unable to finish. So we are calling web every day, like World Wide Web. So here the World Wide Web is came from W3C. The W3C is an organization so who maintains the web standards? W3C means World Wide Web Consortium. This is the organization who maintains the web standards. Web is everywhere. So web is everywhere in the universe. Web is everything. So here in this video session, so I would like to explain HTML. So I would like to explain HTML. The web technologies was introduced, this web terminology was introduced by Tim Berners-Lee. The Tim Berners-Lee is introduced web technologies. So here we call it as Sir Tim Berners-Lee. So he introduced the HTML. In 1989, in 1989, so he was introduced the GML. So he was introduced GML language. GML stands for Generalized Markup Language. So he was introduced in 1989. In this markup language, there are several loopholes is there. So these loopholes means several drawbacks in the language. Later, they introduced in 1991. They introduced SGML. So here they introduce SGML. SGML stands for Standardized General Markup Language. So in this language also, in this markup language has several loopholes, several drawbacks is there. This loopholes is recovered and renamed as in 1994 HTML was introduced. HTML was introduced by Tim Berners-Lee. In this HTML, the HTML stands for hypertext markup language. Markup language. So here, this hypertext indicates that hypertext means specially designed text for web pages. This is the text specially designed text for web browsers. And markup indicates this markup indicates that meaningful tags. This markup indicates meaningful tags and simplified elements. And language stands for simple English language, and it is used for the communication. This is a HTML. This is stands for hypertext markup language. In that, we have hypertext means specially designed text for web browsers or web pages. Markup indicates meaningful tags and simplified elements or predefined tags will available in the markup language. So here I need to tell a small story about this hypertext. So why HTML is called hypertext? Why HTML is called hypertext markup language? So why HTML is called markup language? Why HTML is called markup language? Here, why it is called markup language means, so actually we call it as hypertext manuscript language. We call it as hypertext manuscript language. So in the manuscript language is very difficult to pronunciation for this hypertext manuscript language when compared to the hypertext markup language. So these are the organization. So we W3C. W3C is the organization who found the web terminologies. So this is the organization. So who are the people working under this organization? They renamed as this. They renamed as mark manuscript to markup language. They renamed as manuscript to markup language. That's why this HTML is called markup language. And also, so this W3C maintains the web standards. So it will maintain the web standards. So we can follow W3. We must follow the W3C rules while writing the HTML, CSS, JavaScript. So here I'm coming to the main point. So what is called markup? So here what is called markup? Markup markup is a language. Markup is a computer language that uses the tag defined within the document. Within the document, it is a computer language, and the tags will defined in the document. So here it is a human readable. It is a human readable language. Like we can read this language, and it is the meaning of markup files contain standard words. Like if you want to create any paragraph, any headings, you can use the a meaningful standard words. So we can place a large number of text in the tags. Not only tags, we can place images, we can place anything, we can place in between the tags. So here this hypertext is a machine language. It is a machine readable language, and this markup indicates that human readable. Combined called markup HTML hypertext markup language. Here, so we can write HTML in between the tags. We can write less than and greater than. So we can write the tag using this less than and greater than here. After that, for every web page, every web page is designed in HTML has an extension. Every page is designed in the HTML has an extension. There are two types of extensions in the available in HTML. One is .htm, .htm and .htm. So here .html. So here we can save the file. We can save the file in HTML. HTML is we can save the file in HTML, that is file name dot htm or file name dot HTML. So like this, these two extensions will available in the HTML. We can save the HTML in two types. One is HTML, another one is HTML. Next, we can go for where we can write this HTML code, where we can type this text. So for the beginners, it is a best practice for this Notepad and Notepad++. Notepad and Notepad++, these both are text editors that is very useful for the beginners. We can begin the HTML code. If you want to, if you want to, if you want to learn web technologies, or if you want to become a professional web designer, we need to learn this HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. For the HTML, CSS, JavaScript, we should learn. So best practice for this one is Notepad, Notepad++ for the beginners. And if you have few more editors will be available in the HTML, like that is quite different from that is a we can edit for this project, that is IDs. We call it as IDs. We'll explain in the next chapter. That is coming chapter. We have HTML editors is there. In the editors, we'll explain like text editors and IDs. Next, we have in this markup language, in this web environment. So in these languages that we use, there are two types of. We use HTML and XML. These two markup languages are available in the industry. One is HTML and another one is XML. So we use HTML and XML here. These two languages will available in the IT industry. These two are markup language. So here, so after invention of 1994, the HTML was introduced. So after it's nearly after the 4 years, 1998. In 1998, the XML plus HTML, XML plus HTML combined. So combined with the form of XHTML. So this is an improved version was introduced in the IT industry. It is an improved version for the web environment from this XHTML. XHTML stands for Extended Hypertext Markup Language. Extended Hypertext Markup Language. In this XML, we have several features was introduced in the XHTML. Several features are introduced in the XHTML. That is, we have SMS. SMS stands for Short Messaging Services, and we have MMS. So MMS stands for Multi-Messaging Services, Multimedia Messaging Services, and we have Web Services. We have Web Services. This Web Services is the most advanced website that is used to develop for the mobile compatibility. We can use the Web Services. Next, we have emails. So emails is electronic mails. They use it to send to the electronic mails. In the olden days, we have emails only. We can send the mails using electronics like one-to-one. Here, in the 2008, in the 2008, HTML5 was introduced. HTML5 was introduced. HTML5 was introduced in the IT sector, and full-fledged of documentation. The full-fledged of documentation will release in 2014. The full-fledged was introduced in 2014. The full documentation of HTML was introduced. Here in the HTML we have several versions will available in HTML. So all these versions having basic to advanced features. All these versions having basic to advanced features will available in the HTML. Here the 1994 very basic version, 1994 very basic version, that is HTML, was introduced by Tim Berners-Lee in 1994. So after that we have HTML 2.0. So after that we have HTML 3.0. So after that HTML 3.2. So we can use HTML 4.0. So after that HTML 5.0. So like these versions were released in the IT industry. So here the 2.0 was introduced in 1995 or else 1997, 98, like this. I'm not sure about this years. So approximately 97, this 96, 94, 95, like this. HTML was introduced in 94. After that the versions will be released in 95, 96, like this. I'm not sure about the years. These versions were introduced in the is introduced in the IT sector. So here these versions will be maintained by W3C organization. W3C means World Wide Web Consortium, who maintains the web standards. They maintain these versions also. They release the versions here. So coming to HTML, so here HTML, how many tags will be available in the HTML? So here generally the tags will be classified into following two types. There are two types of tags available in the HTML. So one is paid tag, another one is non-paid tag. Non-paid tag. This paid tag is, what is meant by paid tag? The paid tag is the tag which is having opening and as well as closing. The tag which is having opening tag and as well as closing tag comes under the paid tag. So here example for this paid tag, so we have example for this paid tag, we have HTML. This is a root of the element and HTML close, and we have title, close, and we have head tag, head tag close, head tag close, and we have body and body tag close. So like this they're having the pair tag. Now comes to non-paid tag. Non-paid tag indicates that non-paid tag means the tag which is having only opening but not closing. The only opening tags will called non-paid tags. This is also called as empty elements. This non-paid tags also called empty elements. The empty elements is like they're having only opening, not closing. So here, for example, for this non-paid tags, we have BR tag, and we have HR tag, and we have image tag, and we have link tag, and we have input tag, like so on. So here BR stands for break line. It will break the line. BR. BR stands for break line, and HR stands for horizontal rule. It will provide one ruler for horizontal. It will provide one line for horizontal, which is the horizontal rule here. Next, so this is the tags available in the HTML. Like there are two types of tags. I just explained that, paid tag and non-paid tag. Next, coming to, so how do you write the basic program of HTML? So the basic structure of HTML can follows. So here, the skeleton of HTML. We call it as the skeleton of HTML, the basic program of HTML. How can you type this basic program in HTML? So here I'm just writing structure of HTML. So in this structure, the structure starts with HTML. So we can start with HTML and end with HTML. Inside of this one, so we having here header tag, and we having header tag close. So here we having body tag, and body close here. So like this, so we having in the header tag we can write the title tag. Here title indicates that, so it will give the title for your document. It will give the title for your document. Here I'm just writing name of your document. Name of your document. Name of your document we can write in the title tag itself. See, look at this one. So we have HTML close, and we have head close. In that we can write the title tag. So after that we're writing the body tag. So in the body section we can write the content here. The content will be goes here. So we can write the content in the body tag. So here I'll just explain. I'm just taking this one. So look at this one, and this one. So we call it as, so here we call it as here. So this is opening tag. This is opening tag, and we have closing tag. We have closing tag. So here for the closing tag, this is a closing tag. See, look at this one. The closing tag will be, and this is a closing tag, and this is a closing tag. So this is a closing tag. Here I just forgot to miss forward slash here. That closing tag will be like this, and this one also having this closing tag. So this is also called closing tag, and HTML opening tag and closing tag. Like this we having closing tag and opening tag here. Next, this is the structure of HTML. So now this is the structure of HTML. Next, coming to, so we have this HTML. We have HTML version. So we see the versions of 5 types, like HTML 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So here we can state the versions. HTML versions by using HTML versions are using, here we can use the doc type. So doc type you can write with doc type declaration. See, a doc type declaration is not a HTML tag. First we can remember that doc type declaration is not HTML tag. It is an instruction to the web browser. It is indicate the web browser. It will tell the web browser about what version of HTML page is written in. So what is the version of HTML? What is the version of the document will be written? That indicates through doc type. So here we can write doc type HTML. So this is the indication that, so we are using the 5 version. The browser will understand. Why? Because the user not only user Chrome here, the user having used several of the browsers. Like this, we have available several browsers: Chrome, Internet Explorer, Mozilla Firefox, Safari, Opera. Like this, we're having several browsers. So we don't tell the users to use only Chrome and Safari and some blah blah. So here it tells the browser, like document.html tells the browser that, so we are using the document, that is we are using the HTML5 version. Please the browser will be understand. So here this HTML is, the HTML is a DTD language. DTD stands for document type declaration. DTD stands for document type declaration. In this doc type indicate which version we are using by the user for the browser understanding. So DTD indicates that document type declaration. So here the simplified syntax in HTML file for the general syntax for the documentation. So we use doc type HTML. This is the syntax we can specify in the HTML. So here I'm just using a Visual Studio. It is for my convenience. I'm just use the Visual Studio here. Now I just open this Visual Studio. So here I'm just creating one HTML program. So here I'm just created I take the new program. So click on this Control N, the Visual Studio. There you get the document here. I'm just there with the document. So here in the starting, I told you that there are 2 types of extensions will be available in the HTML. I just save it. This is my file, right? I'm just save it. So first or else HTML class 1 dot HTML. So here I'm just save it dot HTML. So if you type the dot HTML, or else you can click this one. So there you get HTML here. So like this also we can save the HTML. So here I'm just click on this save button. The HTML program will be saved here. Here I'm just using the shortcut. So hold the shift button and click on this exclamatory mark. Now click on this enter. Look at this one. There you having the HTML program here. So look at this one. So here you found this doctype.html. This doctype.html indicates that it is a, we are using the HTML5 version. The browser will understand. So here I just removing this one. We don't need this one. So don't worry, it will be explained in the future sections. So I just removing this one. I don't want to need this one. So this is the title here. In this title we can write the as a welcome to HTML. So welcome to HTML page. So here I'm just writing HTML. Welcome to HTML page. Now we can run this page in the browser. So here, if you want to run this program, use right click on this one and go to open default browser. Look at this shortcut, we're having Alt B. See, I'm just browser. So look at this one. So we are having browser here. So look at this one. So here we have title. So here we just write the title there. The title will be indicated here. Look at this one. The title having this one. Welcome to HTML page. So like this, the title will be given to the document. Next we have Next we have, look at this one. They're having character set. So now we need to talk about this character set. Why we writing the meta tag cat set UTF? Here meta name, meta is a stands for metadata. It will gives the extra information about your web page. So metadata. Metadata will be displayed, we'll discuss on next chapter. So here, first you can go for this character set. What is a cat set? We need to define that character set. So here, I'm just writing cat set equal to UTF 8 here, UTF 8 format. So this character set, that it is, you need to define the character encoding for your web page. So we need to define the character encoding for your web page. So here UTF stands for Unicode transformation format. Unicode transformation format. This Unicode provide unique number for every character, every character, no matter which character it is. So it will follow unique number for all the characters. So it is an octal number system. It is an octal number system, that is 1 byte equal to 8 bits. 1 byte equal to 8 bits. So it is all for multilingual. Like it will support all the languages. In any languages you can take 1 byte equal to 8 bits only. So that's why we can set each and every character as unique code. That's why we can write the character set in the metadata, the UTF-8 here. Here, this encoding will support most of the characters, like if you generate Japanese, Chinese, etc. So it will support mostly the most characters, like special characters. It will give the unique number for all the characters using UTF-8 here. That is the use of UTF-8 here. Here, so we can this, what is the use of this cat set means? You need to define this character encoding for your web page using this cat set. We are setting equal character set for all the multilingual languages. So what are the languages will available? That languages will be equal to 1 byte equal to 8 bits. So it is a octal number system. It will give 1 byte equal to 8 bits equal for multi languages. So that is the use of cat set here. So look at this program. So here we're writing the cat set. And look at this HTML. This HTML having that lang attribute. This lang attribute, what is the lang attribute? Lang attribute stands for language attribute. So here lang attribute stands for language attribute. Here we can write HTML and lang attribute. So here we can write the lang as English. So here we can use English here. This language attribute will provide that usually the web page will be written in which format. The web page will be written in which format. By default, this will be written in the English. So it will take as language attribute English. So if you want to like national languages like Hindi, or else if you want to like US, so here if you write en dash hi and en dash New Zealand for the New Zealand English, so we can write en, so we can write here en gb. So en gb stands for, so if you write en gb, so it is a UK Great Britain language. It will support UK Great Britain language. So here, if you want Indian English, you can write EN IN. So it will support that Indian English. So look at this here. If you want US, you can write EN US here. So you can write EN US inside of here. Instead of here, we can write this one. So it will support all the languages. What are the languages you can write on? That will support. So here, look at this one. COLOUR is our color spelling. So here, the HTML is supports COLOR. So HTML supports that COLOR. So here COLOR is a American English. So by default, this software will support American English only. By default, this HTML will support American English. If you didn't mention any lang attribute, by default it will take the American English, and HTML will support COLOR color only. So here, that is the use of this language attribute. Next, coming to this head section. So HTML head section contain, this head section will contain, look at this one, this HTML head section, this head section will contain, so we have title attribute, it's like a container, so it gives the information about the web page. So here we can use the title, and we can use the link tag, and we can use the meta tag, we can use the base tag, and we can use the no script tag, no script, and we can use the script tag, and we can use the style tag, and we can use etc. So like this, the head elements will, head section will be right, title, link, meta, base, no script, and style tag. Title we already written here. So what is the link tag? So in order to, so look at this one, so every web page having, so here I'm just open this Google here. So here we just open the Google. So click on this Google. So if you click on this Google here, so just type the Google search. So if you click on this one, so you look at this one, the Google having this icon. So what we call this icon means favorite icon. So we can call it as fav icon, favorite icon. So this, how do you create a favorite icon in HTML? So how do you create this favorite icon? So here, so creating the favorite icon, so we need to write link tag. After that, here we use REL. REL is a stands for relation. REL stands for relation here. Here, relation is icon. So we are creating the icon. I just create the icon here. So here, we just write the icon. After that, we need to give href. Here, href stands for hyper reference. It will give the user to refer the page. Like if you clicking on this href, clicking or tapping this one, it will redirect to the user to another page that we can use in the href. In this href, I should give here, I need resource path, like I need images here. So here in this HTML, we having some images here. We just provide image tag here. And we have an optional attribute like type attribute. We can use the type here. Type indicates that we are writing the images, and the images, so if you use a PNG or else image types, we have three types of images, right? PNG, JPG, GIF images. So if you use any type of images here, that you can place in the type tag. Note this here, the type is a optional attribute. So here I'm just open this one. So in the HTML we having, see I having flower here. I'm just take the flower.png. So here I'm just typing flower.png here. Now I'm taking the image name. So here I'm taking the flower.png, and type also I'm just giving the type as PNG here. I'm just giving the type as PNG. Now you can run this one on the browser. See, and just run this one on the browser. Go to the browser here. I just close this one. So here, if you run this one, so wait, we have that image is there or not. We can check this one. I'm just checking this image will exist or not. So we have this image flower, the HTML. I'm just taking the flow. So here I'm just taking flow image, flow.png. Now we can run this one on the browser. Why it's not coming? HTML class will be, now this will be saved in this HTML, right? Uh, we just copy this flower. So I've just copy this image name and we can paste it here. So what this program will be saved here, CSS template, CSS HTML. So here, so it will be saved here. I'm just pasted in the images. So I just pasted this one image here. Now we need to access this image. So I'm just typing here flower, flower.png. Now we can run this one. Now we can run this one on the browser. So look at this one. So there you get the icon here. Like this, we can create icon in HTML. How do you create this icon? So here link relation href flower type equal to images png. Here type indicates that it is an optional attribute. Next we have the HTML. We have HTML elements. So HTML elements. HTML elements. What is HTML elements? These elements is nothing but those we have enclosed between the tags. So enclosed between the tags are called HTML elements. Like this, every HTML has an elements. So elements is nothing but a text we can enclose it between the tags here. Look at this HTML program. So here head is called an element. Look at this one body. Body is called an element. So here the body is called an element, title is called an element, and meta tag is called an element, and head tag is called an element. Like this, the enclosure between the tag is called an element. The elements were everywhere in the HTML. Next we have HTML attributes. So before going to explain this attribute, we need to explain that HTML editors. HTML editors. So in these elements, we are writing just HTML. So HTML is an element, paragraph is an element, H1 is an element. So like this, we're having several elements in available in HTML. Now we can go for these editors. HTML editors. So here, the editor. So HTML editor, there are two types of editors available in HTML. One is the text editor. One is text editor. One is text editor. Another one IDs. So ID, this text editor is stands for text editor, simple editor. Simple, we can edit the text here. So we have Notepad, Notepad, and Notepad plus, Notepad plus plus here. Like this, we having the text editors. So in the IDs mean integrated development environment. So integrated development environment services we have. So we have a lot of services is there. So we can edit these projects also. We can edit the project editors. We can call it as a project editors also. So in this is a one. This is a one editor like a Visual Studio. So here we having Visual Studio, and we have Atom, and we have brackets, we have brackets, and we have sublime text, and we have WebStorm. So WebStorm is a paid version. This is a free software, and we have a ellipse. So we can use edit this editors. These editors will available in the HTML. Not only HTML, this is editors will available like global wise. So these are the editors we can use to edit the projects here. So like this, we having this HTML editors will be there. Next, so I am using this Notepad++ here. This is a Notepad++. This is also called one of the text editors. So here we have HTML attribute. Next we have HTML attribute. Next we have HTML attribute. Look at this one. HTML attributes. The HTML tag can contain one or more attribute. So HTML attribute means the attributes are special features of tag. These attributes are special features of tags. And these attributes are always specified in the always specified in the starting tag itself. So here we have attribute is consisting of name and value pair. Attributes are consisting of name and value pair. The double quotes are the most common use for writing this attribute. Single quotes also will be available. So these attributes are always enclosed in the quotes only. So how you write the attributes like? So here attribute. So this is a syntax. So like this, we can write the syntax here. Key and value pair. You can write the value pairs here. In these attributes, there are nearly 4 types of attributes available in the HTML. There are 4 types of attributes available in HTML. So we can write the syntax for this attribute. Like, so we can use the tag. So we can use the tag here. We just use the tag. So after that, we can write the attribute. The attribute equal to, so we can write the parameter. So like this, we can create the syntax for HTML attribute. Next, these types of attributes. So how many types of attributes are available in the HTML? Types. So types of attributes. The types of attributes available here. So we have element specific attribute. First one is element specific attribute. So we have element specific attribute. This is the first one. Next one we have in the first element specific attributes. So in this we have I'm taking the body tag here. For this body section, so we are having busy color. So busy color is eliminated from the HTML5, and we have background, and we use text here. The replacement of text will be in the HTML5 as color. Now we can write the text. It will also be working here, but the replacement of text here, so we can write the color here. Next we have not only this one, we can take the image tag also. For this image tag having src, for this image tag having src attribute. So after that we have using height, So we can use the height and the width, and we can use the alt tag. So this is not alt tag, alt attribute. So with attribute, height attribute, we can use alt along with alt attribute and along with src. So src indicates that here we can provide the resource path for images. Next we have global attribute. Next we have global attribute. So here I'm taking global attribute. What is global attribute? So these are the attribute common for all the elements. The global attribute means these are the elements. These are the elements common for all the. These are the attribute common for all the elements. So here, so we can use class attribute, and we can use the ID attribute, and we can use the lang attribute, and we can use the insert, and we can use the style here. So like this we can use this attribute. So these are the global attribute. Not only this one, we have spell check. Spell check is there, and we have insert is there. Insert. So like this we're having the global attribute. Next we have event handler content attribute. So here third one having event handler content attribute. The event handling content attribute, this is related to the entire JavaScript. Here entire JavaScript. So here example for this event handler attribute is on click. We can take on blur, on mouse over, on mouse out, on mouse out, on load, on submit. Like this we have lots of event handler content attributes is there. Next we have optional attributes. So next we have optional attribute. Optional attribute we have, this is optional attribute. HTML5 specifies that some default values for this optional attributes, like we can use the type attribute. In this type we can write whether it's what type it is. Next we have name attribute in a form section. So like this we having these attributes in HTML. There are 4 types of attributes: one in element specific attribute, and global attribute, and optional attribute. So here I show the example for this element specific attribute. Here, so look at this one. For this element specific attribute, so in this for the body, you just write. So here I'm writing the busy color. Busy color equal to red. If you run this one on the browser, you run this one. So there you get a red color here. So like this, we can apply the attribute here. Look at this one. The attribute will taken as attribute name and value, key and value pair. So attribute will start with double quotations. Here I'm just taking the red color. After that we can write the one more attribute like color. So for this color I'm just writing the text here. Text equal to, I'm just writing the white here. So here in the body section we need to write the paragraph here. I'm just taking this some content. So lorem. So here I'm just taking the content lorem. I'm taking 9 words. So click on this enter. Now we can run this one on the browser. So look at this one. If we run this one, there you get white paragraph here. So look at this one. So there you get a white paragraph. So if you want to give some more color, if you don't want this white color, so if you want to give one more color, so here for this white I'm just giving to yellow color. I'm just giving yellow. So I'm taking the yellow here. Now you can run this one. So there you get yellow color here. Like this we can provide this attribute. So look at this one. These 2 attributes will be eliminated from the HTML5, but it's still working on the HTML5 itself. So like this we have these attributes. I'm just explaining one more attribute. Like we have image attribute, right? The image will be explained in the next chapter. Like coming chapters we can explain this image tag, how to take the image tags. So like this, we're having the attribute here. Next, we have, this is a type attribute. We can write it here, type images and PNG here. Now we can go for HTML paragraphs. So here we have HTML paragraph. The HTML paragraph. So if you consider text on the tag, the browser will consider as this paragraph. So here, this paragraph will be, there are two types of paragraphs available in HTML. One is paragraph, that is a p tag. P stands for paragraph, and we have pre tag is there. Pre means pre-formatting text. Pre means pre-formatting text. This pre tag, the older name for this pre tag is, in the olden days, they call it as XMP. They call it as XMP tag. This XMP tag is renamed as pre tag here. For this paragraph, by default, this paragraph is a block level element. Block level element means the paragraph will start with new line. That is, if you take 2 or 3 paragraphs, it will start from every new line and it will occupy the full width. So as it can, as it fall. So it will occupy. So HTML has by default displays that there are the two natures will be available in HTML. One is a block level elements, another one is inline elements. So here the paragraph comes under this block level nature. Block level indicates that it will start from the new line and it will occupy the full width here. These two will be available in the HTML. One is a pre-formatting text and one is paragraph here. Now just open this one. So here, open this Visual Studio. We just open this Visual Studio. I'm just close this one. So here we don't want this one. We just close this one. And this one also, we just close this. Now, in this one, we just clear this one. We just clear this one. And I'm taking the paragraph here. I'm taking paragraph. Click on this paragraph. So here I'm writing welcome. Welcome to hello world. So here I'm writing hello world here. So look at this one. So this is a paragraph. We can write p tag close. So here we can write the text here. Now we can run this one. There you expected a proper rendering here. Like this we can get hello world here. So here look at this one. So if you write, so here we need to, so I'm just taking one more paragraph. So I just explain here. So paragraph is a block element, right? I'm just taking paragraph here. So here I'm just explaining welcome to my page. So here I'm beside of this paragraph. I take one more paragraph like welcome to my page. So as we expected that, so as we expected the output as the same line. Why? Because we are writing besides one. So if you run this one, look at this one, they coming below here. Why? Because this is a block level nature. Block level elements always starts with new line and it will occupy the full width here. Look at this one. If you right click and open this developer tools, so if I hover on this one, if you hover on this one, so look at this one. If you hover on this one, it will occupy the full width here. So don't worry, this developer tools will be explained at the time of next chapter. Will explain how the developer tools will be work here. Nice. This is a paragraph element. Now coming to the XMP, that is a pre tag. Pre means pre-formatting text here. This paragraph, the pre-formatting text, I'm just taking the pre-re here. So in the pre-tag, it will allows you that it will allows the spaces, it will allows the white spaces, it will allows the gap, whatever you want. This pre-tag will be work like this. If you give the sufficient spaces, it will take the sufficient spaces. Here I'm just taking this one. Look at this one. I'm taking hello. After that, I'm click on this enter. I'm just click on this one. Welcome to my page. So I'll just click on this one and welcome to my page. Look at this one. So as we expect this output, as you expect the same output in the browser. Why? Because this is a pre-formatting text. So it is pre-formatted text. It will allow the gaps, it will allow the white spaces, whatever you want. So if you run this one, so there we expect this same output here. So that is the difference between the pre-tag and paragraph tag and pre-tag here. Now I just reduce this size, the font size. We just reduce this font size. Now this is a pre-tag. So here I'm just removing this one. So this is the HTML paragraphs. So we have so coming to we have HTML headings. We have HTML headings here. So HTML headings. So we have headings. There are 6 types of headings available in HTML. That is, we have H1, H1 tag, H1 close. So like this, we have H2 tag, H2 close, and we have H3, like we have H3 and H4. So we have H4 and we have H5 and we have H5 and we have H6 and we have H6. There are only 6 types of headings here. So look at this one. The first priority goes to the H1. First biggest heading is H1. After that goes to the H2. After that H3, H4, H5, H6. So here they depend upon this font sizes will available here. So look at this one. This H1 is a 32 pixels. The H1 is the highest priority. This size of this H1 is, so here the size of the H1 is 32 pixels. So the font size for this one is 32 pixels and this font size for this H2 is 24 pixels. Now the font size for this H3, is like 18 pixels and the font size for this one 16 pixels. And next font size for this H5 is like we have 13 pixels, 13.5 like this approximately. So here the least value, the least H6 having 10 pixels wide. So we have 13 pixels and 10 pixels. So how do you calculate this font sizes as a 10, 32, 24? So don't worry, we'll see the example for this H1 tag. So here, open this Visual Studio. Here I'm taking the H1. So in the H1, this is highest heading here. Next we have H2 tag. Next we have H2 tag. In the H2, is this is second heading. So here I'm taking H3. So for this H3, this is third heading. So here we have a H4. So this is fourth heading. Fourth. Fourth heading. Next we have H5. So this is fifth heading. This is fifth heading. Next we have H6. This is last heading. So this H1 to H6 also have block level nature. This headings also called block level. So by nature it is a block level. It will take the new line. it will take the new line and it will occupy the full width here. Now you can run this one here. So there you get the 6 different of headings. So look at this one, 6 types of headings here. So for this one, H1 having the font size 32 pixels. If you want to see this one, just right click on this one, inspect this developer tool. So here the inspect, there you get here values and go to this computer. So here we have options is there, like here I'm just, see, look at this one. So here I'm just typing font size, I'm just typing the font size. See, look at this one, font size is 32 pixels. Like this we having, see, if you go to the H2 24, if you go to this one 16, if you go to this like 10.72 pixels approximate. Like this we having count this font sizes. So in the HTML, so we're having 32, 24, 18. Like this, these headings will be there in the HTML. See, look at this one. So how do you take this content here? Like if you want, look at this one. See, I'm just creating one heading. So this is a primary heading. I'm writing the primary heading. Highest priority goes to heading here. So here, if you run this one on the browser, so if you run this one on the browser, you look at this one, there you get the primary heading. So after that, we need to give some paragraphs for here. So here I'm taking the paragraph. So here, Florum, I'm taking 40. So click on this one. If you run this one on the browser, so look at this one. So there you get paragraph here. So we need to give, so here we need to give some line for this. Here I'm taking the HR tag. So HR indicates that horizontal rule here. So now you run this one. So there you got line here. So if you want to give space to this line, so here we take the break line. So here break is a line. It will break the line here. If you run this in the browser, so look at this one. If you refresh this one, there you get a space here. So like this, we can use this one. So not only this one, you can use one more paragraph. So you can see this one. So here, so I just enter on this one. Now I'm taking this H2, second heading. Second heading here. The second heading, so we use a paragraph. Here I'm taking lorem 500, 500 words. So now click on this one. If you run this one on the browser, so like this, we can create the paragraph here. Look at this one. So we just create the heading and we can create the paragraph itself. So like this, we can create the 6 types of heading and paragraphs. So this is all of this is the headings and paragraphs here. Now in the coming section, we should learn like formatting elements. Like this, we have some codes and how can you color this HTML using styles. So thank you for listening.